Hey everyone, look what I've got. Yep, this is what you've been waiting for. The newly revised venipuncture standard from CLSI. Hey, this little baby took over 4 years to revise. I know, because I chaired the committee that revised it. I got the scars to prove it. Well, it wasn't that bad. In fact, I got to work with some of the most respected preanalytical authorities on the planet to make this the most comprehensive revision in the document's history. Why should you care? Well, you see this stack here? These are the documents from lawsuits that I'm currently reviewing for attorneys involved in phlebotomy-related litigation. Yep, lawsuits filed by patients claiming they've been injured while getting their blood drawn. Who'd have thought, right? I mean, a lawsuit from a venipuncture? You gotta be kidding me. Well, that's just what I thought when I got my first call from an attorney over 20 years ago. Here's what you need to know. It happens more often than you think. And the majority of injuries are because someone didn't follow this. This is the first document every attorney looks at when a phlebotomy-related injury lands on their desk to see if the procedure was performed any differently than what it should have been. I've seen jury awards in the millions of dollars just because somebody didn't spend $150 on this and implement its provisions. This revision came out in April of 2017. If you haven't updated your procedure manual and your staff to what's in this, you're already operating beneath the standard of care. If someone gets hurt, this is the standard you'll be held to. Let me tell you a story. Not long after I reviewed my first case, I found myself sitting in a courtroom waiting for my turn to testify as the expert witness on the case. And I had the unfortunate experience of having to sit through the testimony of the phlebotomy supervisor involved in the case. I have to tell you, it was a painful experience. The attorney kept reading off passages from CLSI's venipuncture standard, and time again the supervisor would claim that, well, those standards just don't apply in our facility. Time and time again he read those passages, and time again she refuted their applicability where she worked. It was a hard thing to watch. I couldn't help but thinking that it had to have been the worst day in her professional life. It certainly was one of mine. Because, you know, when you see somebody like that, a fellow laboratorian, a colleague, getting torn to shreds, virtually torn to shreds on the witness stand because the person wasn't aware of the standards, it gets personal. And I made it my goal that day to spend the rest of my professional life making sure that that never happened again, that no other supervisor would ever enter the legal arena not prepared, not knowing what the standards say, not testifying against them. That's been my goal ever since, and that's what brings me here before you today. There's over 140 new mandates in this revision, and they've got to be reflected in your practices. Hey, I don't care where you get your copy, from us or CLSI, just get your copy. The day I get a case with your facility named as the defendant will be a sad day for both of us. I left the bench to prevent you and your staff from ever injuring a patient and being embroiled in a phlebotomy-related lawsuit, so that you wouldn't have the black cloud of litigation hanging over your head every day for months or years, so that you don't get ripped to shreds on the witness stand because the patient's attorney knows more about what's in this booklet than you do. I refuse to let that happen to you. Get the standard. You'll sleep better. Both of us will.